The end of the world.
I believe Shion is telling the truth. What about you?
As a friend, yes, I want to believe her. Everything that's happened seems to point towards some sort of great danger that's lurking. Still, it's hard to fathom something that could usher outright doom to the world. That those really are the stakes we face.
No, I understand. Even Shion doesn't seem to know exactly what will happen to bring it all about.
We have so many pieces of the puzzle in our hands.
So where do her thorns fit in, then?
Well, I imagine they must sit at the very center of it all.
Yeah, I remember. It was the will of Dan.
Right. And from that, we're able to hypothesize how vast concept. Let's return to when we found Shion in Pelegion, when her thorns went wild.
So you think those thorns might be alive, but why?
As for that...
You know, I've noticed since we've met that you like
Can you blame me? When one
Dohalim?
I imagine the remaining pieces of the puzzle that we seek rest somewhere. As for what the final picture will look like, who can say?
Right.
How you hold?
Did you know?
Can't sleep?
After everything we just heard,
Fair enough.
Shion's had to deal.
Hey, you do not...
I seem to cause nothing but work. As much as I try to look like I have things under control. Everyone's...
You're not the only one.
Hey, do you remember the first time you... That's okay. It came so naturally to you, I'm not surprised you forgot. I was different back then. The Dahnans were not even people to me. And I put in that room with death because until that moment, I thought of you as a way to use the blazing sword. It didn't matter that we were Renans. You cared about us as you... Then, everyone else started to call me their friend too. I didn't want to die and lose you all.
Shion.
But then, I realized... Don't worry, it's okay. I've met too many people along the way who I truly care about, so I'll fight. For Dana and for myself. I'll fight against my... I don't know how we're going to...
It's going to be a long, hard road ahead, Shion. Our fight won't be over until everyone, both Dahnans and Renans. But I swear I'll be there with you.
Thank you.
Remember what we learned back in Calaglia?
Yeah.
Everyone well rested? Then let's go. We depart.
Huh?
I'll see you again tomorrow.
Days like this are perfect to curl up with a good book.
Yeah, tell me about it.
What in the world would you do with a book?
Hey, the pictures can teach a guy a lot.
Well, it's the moment of truth.
This lady better hold together once we're up in the air.
Law, don't say that. You're going to jinx us.
Speaking of which, Alphen, this bucket of bull...
A name? You know, I'm not sure she...
Well, after all the trouble we went through to find her, we should give her one, right? I was thinking...
Fall Knights.
Huh?
It means owl in the ancient tongue. Literally, the one...
I like it. Sounds...
Not sure I'm
Okay, people. We have two goals. First, we need to get to Lenegis and make the... And then, we need to figure out the truth behind Shionne's thorns and find a way to save her. So, all right? Then let's go.
You know, I can still hardly believe it.
Believe what?
I mean, just look at it. The whole of existence, crammed inside a tiny frame.
Now that you mention it, I guess you're right. It does look more like a painting than a living, breathing world.
From up here, all the struggles we've been...
Nothing like realizing how it kind of makes the differences between the Renans and the Danans.
How much longer until we reach Lenegis?
There are better ways to use your time than napping. We should take a moment to familiarize ourselves with the facilities on board before arrival.
Good idea. The starship may end up serving as our base of operation. Think you'll be all right with the controls?
You mean the one set to automatic pilot? I dare say I'll manage.
In that case, she's all yours.
Everything okay, Shionne? You seem a little different.
We'll be going to...
Hey, Alphen, listen to this! So long...
Hey,
What's got Law?
Only that he's afraid of flying, the big baby. And after all that
Hey, I never...
You okay? Feeling airsick?
Actually, now that you mention it, not...
Glad to hear it. That device there caught your eye, huh?
I was just wondering what it is. It looks big.
It's a healing pod. It
Oh, you don't say. Well, that should definitely... Alphen?
No, I was just thinking back to when I escaped Lenegis, that's all. Naori laid me inside here.
So, you're saying you got in this thing straight after escaping? But that...
Yes, it sounds...
That's definitely...
What do you mean?
With the amount of fighting we've done, we would have never made it this far without you. And not only Alphen.
Of course.
Even in that time, I'll always remember him fondly. But the world's bigger than just me. If I've learned anything, and the...
Is everyone about ready? We'll soon be making preparations to...
Before we do that, just what exactly should we...
Kisara has a point. Now that I think of it, I don't...
I'd like to hear more too. It's been centuries since I was last there, and they didn't exactly give me...
Very well. First and foremost, Lenegis was. Of course, it also happens to be a city in its own right. Complete. Its social structure is based on a strict hierarchy.
Enough to determine someone's social rank, you mean?
They can be honed with the right training, and there are admittedly other factors at play. But yet, as a result, family lines that churn out lords and their contenders wield disproportionate...
Those capable of still. Even...
Thanks for the warning. As a lord, Dohalim must have been pretty high up in the pecking order, right?
Come on, you've seen her skill with astral arts. You really need to act.
On arts alone...
Sorry.
No, it's fine.
Jeez.
Wait a second. Are you? He is! Law's blushing!
I am not!
Of course, separating people as if such simple...
So this Red Woman...
I would wager so. Lenegis is too deeply involved in all this to Chances are she's also connected to the Renis Alma.
If the Renis Alma is being used to exploit Dana, we need to take it back at all costs.
That Red Woman's got a lot to answer for. Just as well I've got a ton of questions.
We're about to land. The descent could be a little bumpy, so brace yourselves.
If there are clues about your thorns out there, Shionne... There's no one here. I wasn't expecting a welcome mat, but still...
Lenegis's infrastructure is largely automated.
Do you think anyone realizes that we're here?
We may not have received a...
I really hope we don't have...
So now what? We've come all this way on a hunch that this Red Woman... And if we're lucky, the Renis Alma too.
There is an area of the city that is accessible only to the Sovereigns, known as the
Forbidden? What are they hiding?
I don't know. Hence my desire to... In any case, changing the...
And you think that source might have been...
Precisely. Alphen said that he remembered the Renis Alma being used in the spirit channel. Whatever the ceremony's purpose, if preparation, then the Renis Alma might be in the same place as last time. Possibly hiding something of that worth in the residential quarters would only court trouble.
It stands to reason we should be looking...
Indeed.
But it's been over 300 years since I was made a Sovereign. You can't seriously think I'll be...
There's only one way to find out.
Shionne's right. Who knows?
All right. It's not like we're swimming in leads. Beyond that wall line... is a city full of Renans. The capital city where Shionne and Dohalim used to live, no less.
What in the world?
This being Renan territory, I was prepared for a lot of things to look
The
different.
very foundations of the city have shifted.
When Lenegis changed shape, it must have...
Maybe when they sent the wedge down to Dana?
But they wouldn't move around the places where...
I would think the citizens themselves did.
Dohalim? Is that you?
Avakir, I'm glad to see you.
So it is you! But why are you here? Shouldn't you be down on Dana participating in the crowd? contest, and the...
So you haven't heard what happened on Dana, then?
Heard what?
Someone you know?
An old friend.
Hey, Dohalim, don't tell me you've started keeping company with...
They're with me. More importantly, what's happened here?
I'm really not sure. The city's foundations we're all waiting for the Sovereign to tell us what's
Avakir, listen to me. We're looking for the
The Forbidden Zone? What
Trust me. The less you know.
I wish I could help, but what with the changed topography, I can barely... Let alone the Forbidden Zone.
Very well. It looks like we'll have to find the way that...
Have you seen Faria yet?
No.
I see. Well, nothing much has changed with her.
I can well imagine.
Why did you come back? You know it can only result in...
I've no doubt of that.
You really are the same as ever. Fine, I understand.
So who's Faria?
Law?
The Danans among us should probably keep our heads down.
What if people freak out?
I shall explain it away by saying I'm leading you.
Oh, dear me. Whatever did we do?
You really have no...
Would that I have. We have no choice but to... But do my eyes deceive me? Could I really... I believed he was all...
Your eyes do not deceive you. It is I, one and the same. I have returned to...
As your lordship wishes. First, Lenegis mutates beyond recognition. Now this unexpected visit. The Sovereign's plans are inscrutable indeed. The Ilkaris house has produced a great many lords over the centuries. I shall be praying for your victory in the latest crown.